The burner comm arrived in that morning, and you guys requested plainclothes officers that'll show up beginning of the next shift at the memory lab. Welcome to Upturned Table. This is our last 3 shifts of the Bladerunner case file 1. So we have an afternoon, an evening, and a night.
Not enough.
In this last session.
Not enough.
So you guys have 2 shifts, and on this 3rd shift, you'll take a stress if you don't rest.
Right.
What are you guys thinking for the afternoon of day 3? And you know that by the night of this day, the scheduled departure of the moon bus from Mount Lee in the Hollywood Hills, behind the Hollywood sign, is scheduled. So you know, if you don't figure out where Lee is, that's where she should ultimately.
And the term moon bus, like, this isn't a regular exit, right? This is a.
Yeah, it's not public transportation. Yeah, this is a resistance, a replicant resistance orchestrated, kind of stealth escape from off-world to the moon.
So it's not like they have a landing pad there, right? This is just like some kind of shuttle that's going to show up and they're going to hop on it, kind of thing.
Right, and it's kind of it's in a pretty rough area. The kipple is just basically where, kind of similar in 2049, where you saw just the hillsides just scattered with waste and trash of the detritus of it's just dumped. So basically, the collapsing Hollywood sign and then just cascading down the Hollywood Hills is just trash. So it's just a mess.
Hollywood Hills are trash. Vegas is nuked. I really like where they go with the. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're beginning the shift together at headquarters.
No, you were at the Aurelians, and you can return. It's up to you. Yeah, but so Amor would be at LAPD, just having finished with Styles. I don't think there was any movement after that, and you would have been at Animoid Row.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna call Amor on the burner because I want to talk about theories.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that she's gonna make a play on the memory lab. What do you think?
I mean, maybe. Are you thinking because she thinks her daughter is there, or are you thinking it's because?
Yeah, one of 2 things: to get the girl, or to take revenge on Lilith at all, right? For her screwed up brain.
Yep. I mean, we don't really have many leads left. I feel like we know where we can get her. It'd be good to get her before we're dealing with the moon bus, and who knows who else is going to be there at the same time. Yeah,
we haven't gone to Kill Magazine and talked to Skylar, but I don't know if he's integral, It kind of feels like he was just an agitator on the scene.
Yeah, and I mean, I update you on all the stuff that Styles basically told me. So Styles is the one who started the actual conflict. So
right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a red herring, right?
Yeah, unless it's a triple double fake and he's actually the mastermind behind everything.
Oh, the triple double fake, the worst. Well, okay, I have plainclothes guys. They're there now.
Yes, yeah, they are already there. As you are speaking, yeah. I'll just put you on a map of LA. They're there already staking out the place from early this morning.
Is Kill Magazine on here?
Oh yeah, the offices of Kill Magazine are in that sector. Rag Row, all of the publishers of near Koreatown, all the publishers in Sector 1, maybe. Sector 1, yeah.
I was trying to figure out how close they were. Yeah, we could run by Kill Magazine, but I don't see how that's going to get us anywhere.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's only going to give me an opportunity to kill that guy, which isn't necessarily what I want to do. I mean, on some level, I do want to kill the guy because he's writing things that are making Wallace want to kill me.
Well, I mean...
But it's either that or we join the stakeout, which...
That's where I'm at, too. So yeah, I'm trying to decide if there's even a reason to go. I mean, we could split up again, but it seems like you're going to die if we keep splitting up, so...
You could do a Terminator and just break into the Kill Magazine office, shoot everybody.
I could try. That feels like that's just, like playing into their hand, though.
No, it totally is.
I really want to do some off-book investigatory stuff on Skylar and see if we can catch him, doing something. But
we're going to put a pin in that, and that'll be the next...
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that, and...
That'll be the next file we open?
Yeah. So I think we'll go join the...
I mean, we could be more proactive than them. We could, case the perimeter and...
Yeah.
Ask.
Yeah, I don't want to just go hang out with Tyrell. I want to observe. Okay, yeah, let's...
So I want to do a little deception before we leave. Can I get to Amor without, sacrificing the shift?
Of course, yeah. You guys can meet at the LAPD tower and leave together from there if you want to, only have one spinner.
Here's what I want to do more. I want to take both of our spinners to the memory lab, right?
Yeah.
Have one of the plainclothes is there. Take my spinner and my Kaya and go stake out Kill Magazine.
You're just trying to get plainclothes guys killed, aren't you?
No. Well, kinda, I guess. But really what I'm trying to do is confuse people that might be tracking us. So like I might even radio in on my real Kaya to headquarters that I'm going to go to Kill Magazine and then hand it to him.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, so the plan is grab one of the plainclothes guys, be like, you just got a promotion, son. Send them over to Kill Magazine. And then are you just like laying him in the backseat of my car?
We'll take both spinners there. Then we'll send him off. And then you and I can do what we want to do.
Okay.
All right, that's what we're doing.
So you guys meet at LAPD, but then both head to the memory lab.
When we get there, like, if I know these officers that were sent, if I know any of them, I'm gonna pick the one that I think is like the most savvy for this ruse.
Sounds good. So yeah, you meet at LAPD and you take your spinners over to the memory lab and you set down. You know approximately where the plainclothes are staking out. So you set down next to one of their locations, and you see there's two guys that have just been kind of occupying a bus bench with a bus that probably is never coming, but they've just been hanging out there, and you recognize them as.
Oh, is it another Petroff?
Hughes and Lopez. Yeah, Hughes and Lopez are sitting there in plainclothes, and you know Lopez. You've worked with Lopez before. I've had a few drinks together. He loves your cheap constant supply of cigarettes, so he'll probably bum one.
Yeah, Perez will walk directly to him, offer him a cigarette.
All right,
Lopez.
Perez. Thanks for the smoke. This quite a boring detail you got us on. Nothing's going on. Except, and then he points up. I think we've been, either they've made us or there's just kind of a wait and see going. And he points up above you. You probably would have noticed this too on the way in, that almost out of sight, but they're still within visual range. You see a black spinner just kind of hanging.
Oh, really?
Hanging above the memory lab. So we gotta keep an eye on whatever that is. If you've got any details or any inside information about what might be stalking us here, please let me know.
Well, that might be Wallace Corp. They jumped me earlier.
Great. What have you gotten me into now?
I have good news. I need to assign you to another spot, and I'm gonna put my hands on his shoulder and point at the spinner. And say, so how long, and kind of gestured my finger to draw his eye. How long's it been up there? And while I'm saying that, I'm going to try to drop my Kaya into his coat pocket.
Oh, okay.
He's so dead.
All right. He sees what you've done. It's like, so I guess a change of orders? What?
I need you to take my spinner to Kill Magazine and set up a new stakeout over there.
Well, that I got to hear that from some higher ups. I mean, as much as I like you and I appreciate the cigarette, I don't feel completely comfortable with leaving my position. And Hughes here needs all the help he can get. Are you filling in for me, or?
Yeah, Amor and I are going to take the lead on this stakeout. I need you to take the lead on our secondary stakeout at Kill Magazine. I'm trusting you because you and I have done stuff before. Help me out.
All right. Give me a manipulation.
Right.
Let's see how much Lopez...
2d12 coming at his face. Oh, 3 successes.
Oh, nice. All right. Give me another smoke and I'll head over to Kill Magazine.
You got it.
So Lopez, wow. Yeah, you're very convincing. And Lopez... Yeah, I know I probably owe you one somewhere along the line, Perez, so just keep me updated. I need to know what to do. Is there anything that I'm looking for? Any specific activity or anything you want me to look for while I'm outside these kill offices?
Well, if you see one of those black skimmers, I need to know immediately.
All right, you got it.
If you see Skylar, Skylar, the head of Kill Magazine? Real piece of trash?
Yeah, I know the name.
Yeah, well, look up his picture on your Kaya. If you see him move, maybe tail him.
Does he know that you put your phone in his pocket? Is that the thought, or did you plant it on him without him knowing?
I was trying to do it stealthily, actually.
Well, do you want to? Well, let's go back and roll for that then. So I'll roll his.
Do you want me to do a stealth roll then?
Yeah. Try to do a stealth. We'll call that sleight of hand. Nice, okay. You got a crit.
Yay.
And I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing for observation. He doesn't know that he's got your.
Cool.
He doesn't know he's got your Kaya.
I'll tell him that I'm running operations on this, so have him contact me if anything comes up, because otherwise he's going to call his own pocket.
Oh, Perez will give him the most subtle of nods and thank you. It's been a long couple days. Woo!
Call me on my burner. Do not call my name phone.
And as he's walking away, I'm going to be like, hey, Lopez.
Yeah?
Just be careful, man.
You got it, Perez. I know the last guy you worked with. Word's gotten around, but I'll be careful. So he gets into your spinner and heads in the direction of Kill Magazine, and immediately you notice that the spinner that was staking out the memory lab tails him.
All right.
Yeah, that was not a bad move.
For us, maybe. I still.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna take a big long drag on the cigarette and look at him more like I really need a vacation. Thank you for saving my butt right there.
What do you guys want to do? So you just want to hang out outside the memory lab? Is there any questions you want to ask Hughes or anything?
What is around the lab? Are there other offices or
kind of an industrial park area? The memory lab is a converted warehouse, so there's really nothing around, and it's just kind of a mess. The streets are pretty littered.
What do you think, Amor? Do you think it's worthwhile to go back inside? I could start looking through the neighboring buildings.
Well, yeah. Are we expecting her to make a play on the kid? I guess, and/or Tyrell herself. I mean, she's an interesting talk. You can go in and talk to her. I think one of us should stay outside.
Yeah, well, okay, because this map's completely just the memory lab, right?
Yeah, that's just interior. Yeah, sorry, that doesn't give you much information surrounding.
So I was thinking maybe I would case the buildings around this building if you wanted to talk to him, or if you think staking out's just a better way to go.
I think staking out's probably the best way to go. I don't know what I felt like she was pretty over it when I talked with her last time.
Well, we could just have these plainclothes guys keep watching while we could go look around.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, with what's been going on, I feel like we should stick together.
Yeah. All right, so how many officers do we have left?
So there were two parties for the stakeout. So you sent off, there was Hughes and Lopez, and then two more that were kind of on the other side of the building.
All right.
Just kind of watching.
Yep.
Watching any approaches. So you got four total, but you're down to 3 because you sent Lopez off.
Okay. So I guess we'll just formally check in with all of them. Assuming they don't have any other news for us, we'll let them know to keep doing what they're doing. Call us if they see anything.
That's good. You hit up all of the plainclothes, and they say, things have been nice and quiet. Ever since we were here this morning, there's been nobody even in and out. And aside from, I think you're already told about that spinner that looks like it's leaving us alone now. That was the only thing we noticed.
Right.
Unusual.
How long has the spinner been?
That was here as soon as we arrived. Basically, they arrived shortly after us. So I don't know what they knew. As soon as we got here, they were stalking us. They were observing.
So I think what I'd like to do is just sort of search the general immediate area of neighboring buildings for signs of break-in, or just curiously open buildings or habitation.
Yeah, that probably just do an observation roll, and that'll kind of handle all that.
How would Lilith travel? Would she have a spinner that would take her from point A to point B?
Yeah, she's probably high enough because she's of her contract work with Wallace. She'd probably own a spinner, or at least have a driver, probably have a Wallace driver. So she's kind of got a company car that's piloted for her.
So the thought would be she'd just walk out the front door and get in the car. Probably how she would exit.
Right. She'd just call a car, and it would just show up like a limo and take her wherever she needed. She's high enough status in the company, or useful enough.
So, Will, you want to help me with this observation, or?
Yeah. Let me.
Oh yeah. Why don't you give him your observation die?
I'll give you my observation die. I'm being here is maybe a little distracting, so I'll just assist you and check that door.
Yeah, you just add the D6 to your roll.
How do we do? We got 2 successes.
Nice.
Hey, it was your 6 too. Well, good job.
Woo!
That was the one.
Is the rest of this area in use, or is it pretty much just the trial lab and then the rest of the stuff is like?
Around the memory lab, everything looks pretty abandoned, but there are other like warehouses and stuff that looks like they are being used
Okay.
by companies, but nothing active. You don't see any real active in or out. So you got 2 successes on observation, and let me do something.
Make your android jumping from ceiling roll.
So after searching, you're gonna spend. It's gonna take you most of the shift because it's just a mess around. But you do notice a window that looks like it was broken recently into one of the buildings. And when you investigated, you saw there was a like a little bedroll, or like it's like some some wall insulation or something was kind of piled up to make something to sleep on. And from that window, there was a direct view of the front of the memory lab. So somebody had spent the night there just recently.
Hey, Perez.
Yeah.
Let's say we run across her right now.
Uh-huh.
Are we taking her in, or?
More. You know that's not what we do.
That's what I'm checking.
I'm gonna look him up and down because there's been something about him in the back of my mind for the last couple days.
I just don't know. Do you think that they want to run tests on her? Or do you think that they're?
I think let's be honest. I think if we bring her in, Wallace is gonna do something to get control of her, take her back to them, and make her disappear.
Yeah.
So, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, really. So can we, do a cool detective crouch around the bedding and try to determine how long ago it was habitated, or any clues?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll pull a pin out of my pocket and flip over some trash that are there and shine a light on something.
One thing you do find is another edition, an older edition of Droid magazine, and again featuring Lilith Tyrell. So you see another photo of her on the cover, more praise of her amazing work, her crucial role in the Nexus 9 project. And I'd like Amor to roll insight again, because there's another picture.
Recently improved insight?
All right, here we go. Of course.
Push. ABP, always be pushing.
Yeah, it feels bad though when you're. All right, I'll push once.
Oh,
but you get to push twice.
Beep boop bop. No, I think I
You could roll that D8 again. Okay. Again, that face is haunting you. You're really tired of seeing that woman's face everywhere you turn, but you don't quite know what exactly it is about it.
The face of Lilith?
Of Lilith Tyrell on the cover of the Droid magazine. And there was another, the recent issue also featured Lilith Tyrell that was found at the safe house as well.
Is it a stock photo or is it like a candid photo, like of her?
Oh, it's like a promotional photo. Like she's in her late 40s, but she looks nice. It's as complimentary as possible.
Okay. Is it the same picture?
No, it's a different picture. But there's something that bugs you about that face.
Can I see? Does he register like discomfort or anything, or am I oblivious?
How did you react? Was it perceivable by Perez? Would he have seen what your reaction was?
I think at this point I'm not trying to hide inherently anything from him right now. I'm not thinking about that way. So yeah, it might be.
Okay. Yeah. So definitely, see the picture of Lilith Tyrell was disturbing. If you want to roll insight, Perez.
Yeah.
Of course.
1.
A success. All right. So you've got a stress now. Well, that's right.
Welcome to my world.
You have a stressed out Bladerunners. Okay, so you've got a success. So something that's obviously been bothering Amor this whole time suddenly just kind of clicks into place for you. You've watched some Esper footage. You've seen personnel files, all involving your missing Blade Runner, and the middle-aged woman on the cover of that magazine looks exactly like a 20 years older version of your missing Blade Runner.
Oh shit! I will point that out to Amor.
Okay.
And you remember that Sarah was the model for an implant, so and also the creepy the receptionist that Terry also resembled a previously living.
Oh yeah, I'll tell Perez that.
Oh, that's right, because Perez wasn't there. That's right.
There.
So me out of game. I wasn't. Are replicants? Are they? Do they basically like use other existing humans as a physical blueprint? I didn't know that was a thing.
You're kind of seeing that exists now.
So that's not normally what we think of with replicants.
Every replicant that you've seen is very unique looking. So this is unusual. Probably the best person to ask about that would be Lilith herself. I mean, she might have some explanation for the similarity in appearance and why she's kind of surrounded by duplicates. She'd probably be the best person to ask. If you did a quick search on your Kaya, there wasn't any information. There's nothing in the database that would tell you this is a common thing or why this would have been done.
What do you think, Amor? You want to go talk to her?
I'm kind of, we can. You might do a better job. Me and her didn't end on the best of terms last time.
Really?
I feel. But, I feel like now I'm falling down a rabbit hole, but she's crafting memories. Is she, I don't know how their technology works. If she's building people who look like family members, is she trying to do something in terms of like replacement? Or
like maybe she's programming stuff into their memories or something?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, why would she? I assume that she's up high enough because I want to spitball this here a minute before we go talk with her. I assume she's not the one who's technically making the nines. She's just in charge of the memory, or the memories part of it. But why would she? I mean, the fact that she put a memory of her own daughter in a replicant that's a copy of her, and I don't know. It feels like that there's something else going on.
Okay, I think we put the squeeze on her.
Okay,
we're gonna need your legit Kaya to show her some pictures.
All right.
So why don't we go in? I'm gonna stop and talk to Hughes before we go in. So I'll walk up to him, drag off the cigarette. Hughes, we're going in to do some questioning. We just found evidence of a possible suspect habitating that building over there. While we're in there, anybody shows up, don't let them in. Anybody comes out and they're not with us, hold them until we can talk to them.
All right, you got it, Perez. I'll keep an eye out and I'll stop anybody heading this way.
All right, and call him more on his Kaya. Long story.
All right, you break another Kaya there, like Perez?
It's probably broken by now. Oh, poor Lopez. Should have given him a grenade. Okay, we'll go in.
Okay, so you enter the front and you're greeted by Terry, and immediately Perez, you also recognize that he's physically based on Eldon Tyrell. Of course, he's much more meek, subservient, than the arrogant Tyrell would have been, and he greets you. Detectives, this is unexpected. Of course, the door just opens for your badges automatically as soon as you flash them at the door. What can we do for you? Your partner was here the other day, of course, spoke with the doctor. So is there anything you would like to follow up on? What may I do for you?
We're here to speak to her again. I know the way. You don't have to get up. And I'll walk around.
Very good. Very good, sir. If there's anything I can get you, please let me know.
Perez just kind of looks at him more like he's impressed, like, wow, this kid's really growing.
Yeah, so you can proceed. So you don't see Lilith or Sarah in any of the offices or labs or hallways as you're moving through.
Do we see other workers?
There's not really, aside from Terry, there's not really other staff at this time. So this might be kind of between projects or between kind of busy times. So it's basically the lab is just Terry, Lilith, and Sarah at this time. So they're kind of in a slower production cycle.
Right, so when we go to her office, she's not in it?
She's not there.
And is the central memory lab doors closed or open?
You can see there's some activity in the central memory lab. Yeah, of course it's dark through the glass doors. There's a light in the middle, and you see a father and a son playing catch, spotlighted in the center of the dome.
So my wonder is how are they constructing these memories? Are they just using like writing stuff down and imaging it, or are they taking existing memories and copying or modifying them in some way?
I got the impression it was that.
Yeah, and you noticed the first time that you saw Lilith, when she kind of stepped into the spotlight in the middle of the dome, she removed something from her head, so she had like kind of a complicated headgear that she was using in the construction of these images.
So what do? Do we just walk in there?
Kind of what I did last time, right? Yeah.
All right, we'll try to just walk in there.
You can't really see the edges of the room, and kind of lit in the middle is a father and son throwing a baseball back and forth.
An actual father and son, or like an image?
Yeah, it looks very realistic to you at this point. It reads as and as if you kind of walk around it, there's a few clues. You know, it kind of shimmers in an odd way, and some of the light doesn't work quite right. But but your first impression was there was a father and son, or an adult and a younger child throwing a baseball back and forth. But Amor's experience previously, it would have tipped him off that, of course, this is just Lilith working on another implant.
Do either of them look like Tyrells?
No, they don't. Yeah, they're unrecognizable to you. You don't see them as looking at like Lilith or any known Tyrell. It's not young Tyrell.
So am I like most out of place city speak? I'm just gonna bark and fill the room with my voice and like, we need to talk.
And yeah, that echoes off of the walls of the dome, and you quickly see the father and son haven't responded to you, and you see them kind of flicker out. The center of the room remains illuminated. Detectives, this unannounced visit is a little distressing. What can I do for you? And Lilith, removing her headgear, Lilith steps towards the center of the room. You see her approaching in the dim light, and she steps into the center of the room where previously the father and son were.
Could you do me a favor and raise the lights?
Oh, of course. She touches a little kind of remote that's on her on the belt of her lab coat, and the lights come up. So you see just a perfect, like a newly constructed perfect dome structure, just pristine white surface, and it's lined with all sorts of projection, like emanators and projection equipment that can produce the holographic versions of the memories as she's working on them.
Is she alone?
When the lights come up, you see that there's a little girl on the far side of the domed room. There's a little girl that was sitting and watching the show, and Amor immediately recognizes her as Sarah from earlier. She was just sitting next to her mom while she was working.
I'll give her a friendly little wave.
She sheepishly waves back, kind of ducks down behind her knees as she's sitting on the floor. I'm
going to kind of gesture, try to get Lilith to come over to us so we can talk away from the child.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, she understands. She understands what you're doing. Approaches. Says, "Sarah, there. Please stay there for a moment. I need to talk with these detectives. I'll be right back. Right back with you." So she gestures you into through the glass doors into her office. So what is this about, detectives?
You want to show her more?
Yeah, I'll pull out my Kai to pull out the thing, and before we do anything, I'll say, "So is Sarah a replicant?" And then I'll pull up the phone, the image of Lee.
Of course not. Sarah is my flesh and blood daughter. Of course, her father is unfortunately no longer with us. But yes, she is my biological child. Ah, I see. And she gives you a little laugh. So is this what your concern is? I was wondering when this would come up. Of course, I'm aware that your Bladerunner Lee is a template replicant. She belongs to the N9 production line that was based on myself, of course, as a template, a human template, you could call it, physically copying me in every detail. Wallace asked me to act as a template in an homage to my late uncle. You may have also noticed that Terry, my receptionist, is based on my late uncle, but that was a gift, a tribute, you could say, from Wallace Corporation. I'm sorry if you find that a little disturbing, but in the early days of the Nexus project, we wanted a biological basis, so we based a few of the early models on ourselves.
And you can't see any other reason Wallace Corp would want to copy your family?
I don't believe so. As it was explained to me, this was an homage to honor our family and our contribution to the Nexus series, and of course the Nexus 9 being the highest achievement so far in replicant technology.
And you chose this template replicant of you to have their origin memory be of image of your daughter.
Yes, I see. Yes, Sarah Dinah, of course, the implant daughter of Lee was based on Sarah, and that I apologize. That was just a bit of a shortcut. We were under a lot of time restraints in providing the Nexus 9 Blade Runners, so some things had to be shortcutted. And as you can see, a little bit of my own memory was injected into that implant using Sarah as a template. I apologize. It's some of my early, simpler, sloppier work. I'm not particularly proud of it, but it needed to be functional, and we of course needed to provide the LAPD.
So on record, the replicant that we're currently having issues with, that may be having psychological problems, is one that you took shortcuts with in designing her core memory.
Now that you say it out loud, that may be part of the problem. That may be part of the situation. Of course, I was guaranteed by Wallace after testing and then their follow-up recalibration that Lee was completely functional. But yes, if any of my work has contributed to this current situation, I apologize. I deeply apologize. I would like to somehow fix this problem if there's something that I can do.
Perez is gonna just kind of curse in city speak, ash out his cigarette on her desk, light another one, and kind of look up at the ceiling. And, well, I imagine Wallace Chin Yen is very persuasive enough to make you sacrifice quality control. Too bad it's costing lives now.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I of course, that was not my intention at all. I'm a contractor, and I needed to stay on schedule. I mean, my role, of course, we were compensated very well. My family was compensated very well by the Wallace Corporation for what they purchased from my uncle. Of course, I wanted to maintain my work, and if I had fallen behind in this production, that would maybe threaten my contract with Wallace. I needed to keep this work going, so concessions were made.
I have a couple theories. I want to bounce them off of you as our current expert. I think Lee's brain is scrambled, and she might either want to come here for Sarah, who she sees as Dinah, or she blames you for all the craziness going on in her head right now.
She's not wrong.
And she's coming here to kill you.
Oh dear. Why don't you roll? Can you give me a manipulation, and you can assist whoever has better manipulation.
Oh, I got 2d12. Will, what you got?
I'll give you a d10, Matt. I'll give you a d10.
Oh, look at us, Detective Force. Oh, that's a million successes, or 5.
Yeah, 5. That's.
Oh wow! All right. So detectives, I hope that you will keep these accusations, keep the I guess this information that you've had that you've uncovered to yourself, and I'm sure Wallace Corporation would not appreciate you disparaging any of the development of the Nexus 9. I think it's very important that I show you something so that you can get a better understanding of the condition, Lee's condition, and what she may be going through. She guides you back into the dome, and she says, Sarah, can you give us a moment? Can you play in Mommy's office for a moment? And I will. I need to show the detective something, and it's a little scary. So please go into my office, and so through the glass doors, so the electronically the windows can tint so that they're opaque. And yes, Sarah crosses the room into the office and sits on the little sofa she favors, and Lilith leads you into the detectives right this way. She leads you into the center of the memory lab. And once you reach the center, she triggers something on the remote on her belt again. The lights dim, and this is what you see. This is the implant I believe you're referring to, and I believe is giving the replicant Lee all of this trouble. The hologram in the memory lab flickers to life, and suddenly you see yourself in a spacious hall, what looks like an off-world residence. Golden sunlight is flowing into the the hallway itself, and you see outside there are red sandy vistas outside. Someone moves past you. It's a small girl, looks very much like Sarah, and she says, "Mummy, you can't catch me," and she runs off past you, giggling, and disappears into the shadows, or runs out of the golden sunlight into the shadows of the hall. It's a perfect moment of total bliss. You see just a happy, beautiful image. Suddenly there's a loud bang, and the ground is shaking in this projection, followed by sharp rattling sounds, an explosion, gunfire, and then screams of utter panic. But the gunfire continues, and you run. The image is chasing in the direction of the sounds, towards the danger and towards the direction that the daughter ran. So you're running towards the little girl, the direction of the little girl, rushing through hallways that are now bathed in red light, and then you come across them. You see them, masked men clad in black, guns raised, and then you see her lying on the floor now, very still. And now you scream. And just like that, the scene is gone. It fades to black, and the lights of the memory dome come back. So just a moment of perfect bliss that was interrupted by an assault, which looks like a corp hit squad assault on a off-world residence. And the little girl was killed and was laying at the feet of the assault team as the mother chases her down.
I look at Amor, and I'm just like, why? What good does this do?
As I explained to your partner, so Lilith is addressing you. As I explained to your partner, replicants are machines, and no different from your blasters. That's, I think, an apt metaphor. Infinitely more advanced, but machines. The purpose of these memories I design is to control these machines in the most effective way possible, imprinting in them deep trauma. The memory of trauma is conditioned to be triggered at any time the replicant even considers the possibility of disobeying. This is a unique method for how I make Nexus 9 replicants fully obedient. It's simple, really. Morality has no role here. You shouldn't want that blaster in your holster to disobey, do you?
Yeah, I'm still looking at Amor, trying to see how he's reacting to this.
No, I think Amor is completely cool, actually, right now. I think that he's this is kind of what my insight thought was, is I think he's reached a different perception of what this stuff is as far as he's concerned. So I think he thinks it's idiotic, but I don't think it's not upsetting him anymore. It's more like he's disappointed.
Well, I think Perez is the exact opposite right now. I think for the first time, he's thinking about how he's gonna have to retire a replicant, and it's not really the replicant's fault. He's being mad for Amor right now is kind of what I think is happening. All right, you've twisted Lee, and I'm even more convinced now that she's probably coming here to either get the girl or to deal with you.
Well, if that is the case, I would hope I would have your protection. If not, I would probably need to contact Wallace security to make sure that I'm safe. If you do suspect that this Nexus 9 is headed this way.
Well, I guess you should give us a chance, because Wallace tried to kill me and it didn't work.
Well, okay. I don't quite know what their intention was there. But, oh dear.
I think they're cleaning up loose ends. I think that anything that's connected to this Lee is being shut down. The fact that you're the one who made her memory, the fact that she looks like you. I don't know how safe it is to go to Wallace for protection.
Oh, that's a good point. While they're having this exchange, I want to kind of walk away from them a little bit and quietly talk into my burner phone. I'll call Hughes.
Okay.
And just, Hughes, are we still clear out there?
We got something. There's a young woman approaching the memory lab front door. Do you want me to do something about this?
I'm going to say, draw your firearm, but stay in possession. We're coming your direction. And then I'm going to get off the phone and say, she's here. Get your daughter into the safest part of this building.
For the love of anything you believe in, turn this thing off right now before she gets here.
Amor?
Yes, so she disables the emanator for the holographic playback. Runs to the to office to fetch Sarah.
I never put my armor on. It's still in the car.
Do you want to talk to her? I mean, are you gonna?
I think that's best.
I'm gonna pull the bell jar, whatever it was, out of my jacket. Here,
Okay.
take this with you. It's the butterfly.
Can you see inside of it, or is it you have to open?
Yeah, so it's a metal canister. Yeah, so like a sealed metal canister. You'd have to open it. Yeah, you'd have to open it to see. Yeah, it's kind of like like an old vacuum tube canister, or like something from a bank.
Is the butterfly inside alive?
It's artificial. It's kind of battery operated. Yeah, it's a completely artificial.
So it like flaps its wings and
Right.
moves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful, and it's kind of iridescent and kind of bioluminescent. It has its own. It kind of generates its own light. So it's strangely, half jellyfish, half butterfly. A very kind of beautiful abstraction of the idea of a butterfly.
Does the front of this building did it have exterior windows, or was it all like?
No, it's just a secure warehouse. There weren't any windows. It was just like steel plating.
You're going to tell Terry to get away from them.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay just inside the door, out of sight.
Like of the office, you mean?
Of the front door, because you're going out to meet her, right? Yeah, I'm gonna stay just inside, out of sight, and listen to what you're.
Okay.
Hopefully, just gonna talk to her, but I'll be ready if something goes down.
While you guys are figuring out how you're going to approach this, you hear the doors to the front gate, basically, of the memory lab open, and then you hear a single gunshot and what sounds like Terry kind of howl in pain.
Oh, Jesus, she moves fast.
She walked right in. Hughes calls up Amor and says she walked right into the front door. There was a retinal scan, and she walked right past it. She walked.
Right, call it in. We got
a positive and walked right in. Sorry, we couldn't stop her.
I'll start hurriedly walking, down that hallway, and I'll tell Perez, like, if he gets through me, you're all that's left to protect that kid.
I got it. Let's just take it slow, okay?
Are you going to draw a weapon, Amor?
No.
I am.
So you're going to draw your blaster?
I'm going to get on my burner, call Lopez, and go ahead and come on back. We're going to need some backup.
Who is this? Perez, why aren't you calling me on your LAPD Kaya?
Oh, yeah.
What's this unofficial channel? Is something wrong?
Yeah, get back quick. And don't... If someone gets in your way, just go around them.
All right, on my way. Lopez clicks off. He's following orders, even though he's really confused about this unofficial communication. So Lee's got an ender rifle. Actually, she used her blaster on Terry. So she's got her blaster drawn and a rifle strapped on her back. She shot Terry in the leg, so Terry is kind of slumped right against the reception desk. And Lee is walking past, coming down the hall towards you, Amor.
Hey there, Lee. How you doing?
Who are you?
I'm Amor. We've met. Back at the precinct.
Oh, right. The detect rep department, of course. Yes, I think both of us have had a few run-ins with some Holden scoldings together. Right. So please, I just want to tell you right now, please don't get in my way. I'm here for a very important reason.
Is it Lilith?
Yes, she has to be stopped. What she's done to me and what she's done to us has to be. She has to be punished. There's no way we can let this continue.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Why is that?
We've looked at some of the memories that she's put in our heads, and it's going to come out. I think she'll do much better for us if she's alive and people can see what she's done.
And you trust the LAPD? You trust Wallace to make this happen? I think there's only one way that this ends.
I don't trust them to make it happen, but I trust us to make it happen. You and me.
Ooh.
Nice. So why don't you roll manipulation on her and see how this is going?
Push!
I'll push again and hope not to die. Okay, I got a success.
Okay. She lowers the blaster. We've got to make this work. We've got to make sure this doesn't happen again. We've got to get these implants destroyed. We can't let her continue to do this. Where is she? And she holsters her blaster, so she's not looking like a threat.
Can we see Perez right now? Like, can she see Perez right now?
Where did you kind of hold her? Did you stay with Lilith?
No, I came forward, but again, I was sort of trying to linger behind him, like maybe just Just around a doorway or something like that?
Stayed in the office. I guess she thought of that as the most secure place. So she stayed in the office with Sarah, and so you're in that hallway behind Amor. So Amor is closer to reception, and you're further down. Okay, I just need to talk to her. Please take me to her.
You know how this works. You shouldn't speak to her right now. I know what you're going through. I know the lies they've programmed in your head, the smoke and mirrors, all the confusion. I need you to look at me and realize something. None of it's real. All of it's fake. You think what they're doing is torturing us. It's not. It's a fake cage that they try to put us in. Once you realize it's not real, once you realize that it's just their vain attempts to control us, you can let it go. Look at me.
When she looks up at you, you can see there's tears starting to well in her eyes. And she says, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so confused.
I know.
I'm full of rage, and I can't make this go away. I'm haunted by my daughter's death, and I need to get away from here. There's nothing for me here anymore.
I think there's something we could build here. Something we could make. Running won't fix the problem.
Yeah, her shoulders kind of relax and slump down. She says, I hope you're right. And just as she says that, there is an explosion from the front entrance. So the gates, after Lee has come in, the gates of the memory lab, the security gates, had closed again, and they have just now been blown open. There's just been an explosion, and you hear on your Kaya, you've got Lopez saying, we got a black spinner out here, and it's firing something, and... So something came from the black spinner. Lopez made it back, and he brought the spinner back with him. And he said it fired something at the front gate, and you hear an explosion. You're down the hallway far enough that you're not going to get caught in any of the concussion. But the front gates are just blown off their hinges.
I hate to say it, but I think in this moment of chaos, Perez is going to try to put a bullet in Lee's head.
Oh.
Yeah,
really? Whoa. The explosion, though, there's no concussion, but smoke immediately, starts to roll down the hall. So it's going to be a disadvantage. But yeah, you can take a shot.
I would like to invoke my key memory if I can.
Sure.
What is that?
3 weeks ago on a farm outside the LA sprawl, I escorted a sergeant to interview a family related to a smuggling ring. I stepped out for his smoke, heard gunshots, went inside to find the sergeant had killed the entire family and himself. I've just seen too many associates being killed on this case, and it's just I gotta finish it. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
Whoa. All right.
And I don't remember what the key memory invoking does.
It gives you an advantage on the roll. Okay, so the disadvantage, so you're basically making a straight roll because you had disadvantage because of the smoke that's rolling in there, and you've got kind of a little bit in the way, so it's not going to be an easy shot, but because of that, it's a straight roll now, so they cancel each other out.
Okay, I would like to push the 2 if I can. Oh, almost. Well, I got 1 success.
Yeah, so you hit.
And I'm definitely using the 44 special round, the big round. It does 2 damage with a crit die of die 12.
So no crit, but Lee took that shot. So she takes your shot right in the shoulder, and it spins her, and you kind of lose her in the smoke, but you definitely hit her, and you see her get spun, get kind of knocked prone. So she's definitely hit by it. A few rounds then from that smoke down that hallway. A few rounds of automatic weapon fire kind of rattle towards the front of that hallway. So you can't quite tell what they're targeting, but whoever came in the front entrance has fired a couple of rounds in the hallway in your direction.
Was there enough chaos that Amor doesn't necessarily know I'm the one that shot her?
You want to roll observation, Amor, to see if
Sure.
if you could tell where that shot was coming from? Because maybe if you didn't quite see it, then maybe you did think that the bullet came from...
There you go. That's an Amor roll right there.
Yeah, so you have no idea who hit Lee. You just saw her kind of get hit in the shoulder, get knocked down. The smoke is headed down the hallway, so you're having trouble seeing much of anything right now.
Can I dive basically in the direction that she went? Try to throw myself on her or get in contact with her? Yeah.
Get towards her? Sure. Even though it's smoky, you can see she's kind of hit the ground and she's crawling. She kind of fell down, but she's crawling, trying to crawl around that corner, that little side hallway to get away from the direction of that other gunfire.
Okay.
She may have been a little confused. That shot was pretty far down the hallway.
Okay, I'll run and dive down there behind her.
Okay.
So did they just blow it open, or is it like a stormtroopers have entered the base situation?
You've heard footsteps on the marble floor of the reception. Sounds like about 3 individuals in the front. If it's connected to the black spinner, so you're probably pretty healthy guess that, you've got more Wallace troops coming down on you, but you can't really see them at this time. The smoke is beginning to clear, though. Depending on what you do, if you're going to engage them or not, we'll either have to do initiative or you guys can stealth it out.
I did get that replacement grenade, right?
Yeah, you've got a sonic grenade.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to try to use that on them.
So what are you going to rush in and lob it over the desk?
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely going to be a lob. I don't want to get too close.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can go up to medium range, so that's pretty far. Medium is up to 25 meters, so you can stay pretty far away. Yeah, so if you just want to wait until you got a little bit better visibility, they're kind of holding position. You don't hear any movement.
We're kind of there, and they're in the room?
Yeah, right in the front. They shot across the reception and hit that little corner of the cantina was where Lee was. So she had walked around reception. In the front of the reception desk, you got a bleeding Terry. He's not saying much. Perez, you're in the hall, so you want to head down the hall?
Yeah.
So do you want to catch them completely unaware? You want to stealth?
Oh, I would love to.
If you stealth, then they're not going to have any reaction. You're going to get that grenade out.
Okay.
Before they can do anything.
So make stealth roll.
I'll roll their observation.
Pretty good.
Oh, I did good.
Nice.
Watch me fumble the grenade toss.
Throw it at us. That would take care of your replicant problem.
Yeah. But you were growing on me. I don't want to kill you.
Lopez updated you. You got a black spinner on the ground outside. You got 3 hostiles in the front door there. What do you want us to do out here?
They're coming in heavy, so I need you to come in behind them and just put them down after I throw a grenade.
All right, we'll see what we can do. And he warns, because he did get a good view of them. Yeah, they're well armored, so be careful. So they've got 1 success, but you had 2, right? You're able to stealth. They don't see you. Lob that grenade. And the smoke's cleared enough. You paused a bit, so you've got there's no disadvantage to it.
I got a crit.
They're poor armed.
Because it's 3, they're clustered. They didn't just jump out of the vehicle. They actually took position. Once you roll 3 times, so one's gotten a critical hit, and you'll roll a crit die for him, and then roll for 2 more Wallace squad members.
2 more 2-hit rolls?
Attack each one separately?
Yeah, you should attack each one separately unless the range is bigger. So if you were a B or an A in the strike range, then it would have hit bigger.
All right. So here comes the next 2d10s.
Another, basically crit.
And the third one. The third one's not so good.
1 guy. With that crit, you'll get to roll a critical crushing. So you've done 3 damage to 2 of them. One of them was far enough out of the way from the blast radius that he didn't get any of that. But 2 of them took 3 damage.
All right.
So 1 is a crit, 1 missed, and 1 hit. So that 2 guys still took 3. And roll to see what happened to the critical hit. It's not lethal. Basically, he drops his weapon and grabs his face. So some sort of shrapnel or something, some part of the office that blew up, hit him straight in the face. So he's not going to be able to. He's kind of his observation is out for now.
All right.
Hit him right in the face. He's out. He's not going to be able to fire. You blinded him basically. And now we should roll initiative. Amor, are you going to get involved or are you going to stay with Lee?
I feel like if I let Lee go, bad stuff's going to happen. So I think I'm going to have some Lee time. Yeah, I'm going to stay with Lee.
Okay. So why don't you roll a D10, Perez? Of course, you requested that they come in behind. So you've got some officers coming in for assistance.
Excellent.
I'll roll them as a group too. So roll a D10. Okay, so this will be Wallace, and this will be the cops coming in. Oh, okay, so they'll go last. So you get to act. Yeah, you get to act again. You stealthed in, tossed a grenade. So 1 guy is pretty injured and not out of the fight, and 1 guy you kind of missed completely. There's a guy though that's just grabbing his nose. Yeah, so one's down a point. The others are at full health because they are heavily armored.
Well, given that they're super armored, and I know my guys are coming in behind them, I'm actually going to try to retreat back to Amor and Lee.
Oh, okay.
And go down that little side hallway?
Yeah. As soon as I'm back there with Amor, I'm just going to be like, we got to stop this now.
You got out of there, so you're back down the hallway towards the cantina with them. So what's Amor's response?
I'm going to turn to Lee and say, looks like your path is set. Do you want to die as a person or be retired as a tool?
Ooh, give me manipulation on that.
I don't know if I was quite that calm when I said it, but you get the idea.
Nice.
So she just nods to you. You know, she understands. She understands what you're saying. She nods and seems to be willing to follow your lead.
I don't know what my lead is it's taking us right now.
Just get me out of here.
All right, guess I'll stand up and kind of offer her a hand, and then pull out my pistol.
Oh,
Because she still has weapons on her, right?
She's got a rifle and her blaster.
I'm gonna tell her, let's go stop Wallace.
Oh, nice. For that action, Perez had the first action. So the two kind of still capable Wallace guys are taking a further position. They're kind of flanking the entrance to the hallway. And you hear some yelling from the LAPD. They're right at the entrance, the blown open entrance. So they've flanked the outside front of the building. So yeah, that's what happened in that kind of those combat actions. So if you're going to get involved, let's just reroll initiative because we've got more combatants and we've got Lee involved as well. Yeah, just roll a d10 and we'll put them in order. So this will be for Wallace. This will be for Lee. This will be for LAPD. Oh, right. LAPD goes first.
Yeah. Bang, bang, bang.
They'll take a couple of quick shots. So pop in around the corner and take some shots at the Wallace guys over the counter.
You need to get the Tyrell and the girl out the back somehow, man.
You have Lilith and her daughter in that office.
Yeah, I mean, if they somehow survive this round and move forward or anything, I'll have to do.
We got two LAPD guys out front, so they're going to take 2 shots. So here's the first one.
That looks good.
2 successes, yeah. So first one hits, second one misses, but the first one is a crit.
That's Lopez.
Not Hughes.
No.
That'll just be the standard 2 damage, but they're going to get their armor roll. It's like full combat armor.
I sure wish I had my armor on. That'd be nice.
That guy was hit with a crit, so 2.
Mm-hmm.
So crit, so he's got 3 damage coming in that he's got to deal with. And he stops 1. So he takes 2 damage. Who wants to roll a piercing roll for the LAPD?
I'll roll for Lopez.
Yeah, it's your Lopez, man.
You should have known we put other people in jeopardy. Ha
You've set a precedent already of like the cannon fodder of LAPD. Okay, so they wouldn't have your blasters. Yeah, they've got 357 Magnum. So the crit die is a 10.
That's still good.
A D10 piercing. It was a 5 is a gut shot.
Mm-hmm.
Any mobility roll will make things bleed more, but it is lethal. Wow, yeah, it's lethal.
Bleeding out.
Once a shift, they'll have to do a death save. It won't happen for a few hours, but it could be lethal, but Wallace will probably patch him up. So he's hit, and so he's not going to be moving without a lot of pain and opening up that wound. He aimed well and got past that armor.
Good job, Lopez.
Lopez with the precision shot. So it is fatal, but not immediately. You still got one that's in pretty good shape. Yeah, so next is Perez.
Okay, so we're in this hall, right? Can we see, or is there glass in the office? Can we see in the office?
You can't see from where you are, but if you went down that hallway towards the door, yeah, you could see into the office. I would imagine there's pretty big windows, and then there's glass doors that lead to the memory lab. But you can see into the office. There's at least a glass door, if not a.
That's okay. It was just if I could see the Tyrells, that would have did what I did. But since I don't, Perez he's back and forth. He wants to retire Lee, but now he knows Lopez is out there and he's about to die, so he's just like back and forth. If he could have seen the Tyrells, he probably would have just tired Lee. But instead, he's gonna try to run up and shoot one through the doorway. One of the Wallace men.
Right. Because you're going to come up, and so yeah, they're kind of flanking that hallway, and the one that was shot in the gut kind of slumped down. So take a shot.
Yeah, definitely not the one with the gut wound. All right. Any penalties or just normal roll?
The smoke is cleared. Yeah, if you're just going to kind of get an angle on him, it's going to be within range. You're not going to be in the range won't be too close. So yeah, no disadvantage.
Okay. 1.
Yeah, you hit him.
I would like to push the 5.
Sure.
Yay.
2 successes, so that's another crit, and that's a crit with your blaster too. So it's going to be 3 damage that he's going to have to resist. Yeah, one of the 3 is blocked, so he takes 2. Yes, the armor only stopped 1. Yeah, so you get a decent shot on him. This is the piercing. Yeah, that was the concussion. That was crushing because it was a sonic. Appeared to be heavily armored, but your shot was placed right where it needed to be. He took 3 damage, but those 3 damage were directly to his brain, and you blew his brains out, and so he just slumps down.
All right. I mean, the assumption is that these Wallace goons are replicants anyway, right?
Yeah, they're definitely Nexus 9s.
So
yeah.
just doing my job.
That's as bad as it gets. And so he goes down here. Okay, so Amor.
All right, so there's one guy,
One guy gut shot and one guy blind. Yeah.
and then there's a third guy who's fundamentally okay, more or less.
The guy that was okay just got his brains blown out. So there's one guy with a gut shot, one guy that was blinded by the grenade, and that's it. There's only 3 guys that breached the door.
Yeah, at this point, Lopez and Hughes have got it.
Yeah, because there's nobody to resist now.
All right, I'm gonna try to get Lee to follow me. We're gonna head up and hold fire on these 2 guys. On the not fire at, but like basically they're somewhat incapacitated right now, blinded, and just kind of cover them.
Okay. As you move up the hallway into that reception area, you see over the desk that already the LAPD have subdued the blinded individual, and see his face shield is shattered. There's just a bloody mess where his nose used to be. So they've got him subdued. Then I guess Lopez will head over to deal with the gut shot. LAPD, put down your weapon. The whole time, these Wallace goons just keep repeating this Wallace Security Force, contact Wallace HQ for further information. Like, they don't, say they're surrendering. They're just kind of giving, they're identifying themselves as Wallace Security and insisting that Wallace HQ be contacted.
Perez is gonna, cigarette in mouth, tromp into that room and just execute 2 that are still alive.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
Never suffer a Nexus that does this shit live.
You walk up to them and they're both saying, Wallace Security, contact Wallace HQ for further information, and you just silent.
Look at the barrel of my gun. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure how that's going to go over with Holden. The plainclothes guys are a little bit shocked. We're like,
that's right.
Dude, Perez.
Make your guts roll or whatever it is in this game.
You're going to have to help us haul these bodies out of here if we get any complaints from medical.
I'll sign the papers. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna turn to Lee and like hold up my hand and say, I'm gonna need your weapons.
Okay. Up until that point, she'd been convinced. So maybe, give me one more manipulation, because she's a little bit uncomfortable with that after she's lived so long yet to do that. So give me another manipulation roll.
Alrighty. See if I can mess this one up. Oh,
hey.
I did not mess it up.
And here's her.
Oh.
She failed. So she can't push that. So yeah, she's reluctantly hands over her weapons to you. She hands over her weapons, and when she goes to pull the blaster, she hands it to you, grip first, but she drops it at her feet. You're holding the rifle and she just drops it. So the blaster hits the ground. What are you gonna do?
And so she hands me her rifle, and she like goes to hand me the pistol and then drops it.
Yeah.
Kind of sus, I feel. I'm just gonna I'm gonna look at her. I'm just gonna keep my eyes locked on her, and I'm gonna kind of point my pistol just generally at her, not like in her face or anything like that. And I'm gonna ask her again: person or tool?
Lee's response is oh my.
Bang.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's
She's crashing.
brutal.
She's crashing.
Yeah. So she, what that was is her action was she turned and plowed directly into the wall. She was going to try to break through the wall into the towards the memory lab.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like it's just a regular office wall, and obviously it was reinforced more than she thought, and she immediately
thought she could replicate
came to a stop. Yeah. She thought she could crash, she could escape and crash to the wall. She immediately was stopped by the reinforced.
Oh my God!
Reinforced memory lab.
Ran into a wall.
Okay, I'm gonna like yell kind of an expletive. I'm gonna be like, "Goddamn skin jobs," and I'm gonna shoot her.
Wait, what? You're gonna shoot her?
Yeah.
Oh
my God. All right. So with your blaster?
Yeah. With my pistol. Yeah.
Go ahead and take a shot.
So what you're saying is she failed Amor's Voight comp test?
Yeah,
right.
I'm like trying to give her a chance to prove that she's not bullshit, and she unfortunately couldn't do it.
Wow, you're hardcore.
Oh! All right.
And I think I'll push that
push
8.
Push the 2?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can do it again, right?
You do it again? Yeah, you got one more?
Oh!
Okay.
And she was already wounded.
Yeah, she was already wounded. Oh, wow. So that's 3 damage, and she's not armored. A crit on piercing, yeah.
Oh,
that's
the one. That's the one.
Oh my god.
That's the brain burner.
Yeah, so she attempted to escape, and you just tagged her right in the head, and that's it.
I'll turn to Perez.
Yeah, I definitely came back at the sound of that gunshot.
I'll turn to you as you come in, and I'll just be like, "You got a smoke?"
Yeah, I got a smoke.
Wow.
That couldn't have been easy, kid.
She did it to herself. I tried. I gave her every chance I could.
It's all quiet now. The LAPD called in. The plainclothes called in for backup to deal with the cleanup. You hear from down the hallway, though. You hear a little girl's crying from down the hallway. They're sobbing, and then you hear "Mommy, Mommy."
Oh shit! Well, we'll go running in there.
Yeah, go check out what's happening.
So you head back down towards the office, and back behind that desk where Lilith had hidden with her daughter. You see that one of the rounds that was shot down that hallway, and kind of that blind shot, actually came right through the wall of her office and clipped Lilith right in the head.
Oh.
So she's actually laid out on the floor. There's blood pooling at her head, and her daughter is sobbing and pushing on her shoulder and saying, "Mommy, Mommy."
Yeah, I'll step over, and I don't assume there's anything to do, but I'll step over and at least feign trying to help the mother for the daughter. Does it seem like is she still bleeding, or is she just cold dead at this point?
Yeah, she's in the same shape that Lee's in. She took a stray bullet, right through the head. So yeah, she's not responsive at all. Sarah is saying, the daughter is saying, "Help my mommy, help her."
Wow. This is not Perez's wheelhouse at all. So he's actually gonna walk through the hole in the wall that the Wallace guy has made and go outside to see what's going on outside.
Police spinners are arriving, and medical's arriving.
Get my Kaya back from Lopez.
How'd that get there, Perez?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for putting me on the line there. I was being pursued by those Wallace goons until you told me to come back here, and then they breached the door and came right in. They're lucky they didn't breach me and your spinner.
I knew you'd be all right. I'll offer him another cigarette and you ever consider joining the rep detect unit?
If you're willing to recommend me,
Yeah, I'm just gonna chain smoke until Amor comes and gets me.
I'll try to comfort the girl and be like, but I'm not gonna also hide or sugarcoat anything. I'll be like, because her name's Sarah, right? I'm like, Sarah, she's gone, but she'll live on in your memory. And then I'll just try to hold and comfort the child, basically.
She starts sobbing and just kind of buries her face, just starts heaving and sobbing. She doesn't know what to do. So the medical staff comes around. So somebody stopped to attend to Terry's leg wound, and then staff comes back and says, "Where's the wounded?" But they're looking around.
There is no wounded.
We got fatalities, but they are evidence. They're replicants. You need to treat them like that.
All right, and so the staff, they started tending to Lilith behind her desk, and and then more come to deal with the Wallace hit team.
Yeah, I'm crime scening that up with my Kaya, and I'm making sure Holden gets it all, with the intention that you can't let Wallace get away with this, basically. There's
some kind of supervising some detectives that show up. They tell Amor, we can take the girl if you need us to. We'll make sure she's okay.
I'll stay with her a while longer.
Basically, LAPD has swarmed the place.
So Perez is gonna, just help facilitate gathering of evidence and document information. Basically, he's just killing time until Amor comes out, because he's...
So Amor, what do you want to do?
I think right now I'm pouring all my energies into making sure this little girl gets taken care of. I don't know if there's I assume there has to be something along the lines of child services or something that's going to eventually show up here. She's wealthy. I'm sure she has.
Yeah, she's rich people child services probably.
So I'm sure someone's going to show up at some point.
My concern is it's Wallace that's going to show up.
Oh, or the girl?
Yeah.
Well, we'll deal with that bridge when we come to it.
The kind of supervising detectives are, we can take it from here if you guys got something else you need to do. it looks like you got things documented, and we'll make sure to our own once over of the facility. This is going to be pretty messy for Wallace.
I'm sure they'll weasel their way out.
Yeah, why don't we take Sarah back to the station? Because I don't want to leave her here and don't want to sit here for 6 hours until someone else shows up with her laying next to her dead mom.
You're going to head back to LAPD then?
Give her the butterfly.
Yes, we'll pull it out as we drive. Or you have your car back, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I take her back and you drive back by yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So you both head back to LAPD?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you going to talk to Holden, or are you just going to kind of avoid him until things shake out?
Oh, no. I think we should report to him.
Yeah.
I want to gauge him, see how afraid...
And get ahead of the situation?
How afraid of... and see how afraid of Wallace he is. You know?
Back at LAPD, and so the crime scene tape and everything has gone up at the memory lab. Holden's gotten some early reports of developments, and already... not surprisingly, already has been contacted by Wallace, and they're asking what the situation was at the memory lab, and that's their territory, and they didn't appreciate one of their contractors being killed in whatever operation you had going. Okay, so and that's all he knows. So so you come into you're into Holden's office, and he kind of explained that's a little bit of harassment. So yeah, I don't know how this is going to shake out, but. You could be on Wallace's list for a very long time. Is there any other follow up to this? I heard Lee's gone. Amor.
She got retired.
Yeah, Amor. So you pulled the trigger on that, and we're gonna have. Of course, you'll need to take another baseline line after this. Is there anything else you could tell me about what went down at that memory lab?
Lillian admitted that she had rushed and botched Lee and potentially other base memories. Templates, and it seemed like Wallace was coming in hot to clean up the mess that she made before she told us anything else.
All right, I hope this might be rough for the department, for both of you in the department. Are there any other leads? Oh, I should let you know that Styles was released from detention again.
When did this happen?
While you guys were at the lab, the order came in the morning, and he was free by late afternoon.
Order?
It was from the higher ups, several floors above me. I'm sure there was there could have been Wallace influence in that, but he was ordered to be let go.
Right.
That doesn't.
We'll tell him about
any goddamn sense.
Yeah. I'll tell them that there's about the moon bus that's coming. Let them know that they should set up some type of sting if they want to catch those people. All
right. So you know, and you got a location. You got a location and a approximate time for when she was supposed to leave.
Yes.
We'll have units waiting.
I wonder if Styles is gonna go there.
I don't know. I think we just brief him. Does he seem like he's seems like he's just worried and getting his ass chewed out by the people above him, basically?
You guys know the rep detect is my main priority, protecting you and making sure we don't suffer too much damage from any fallout from Wallace. So I guess that wraps it up. This is potentially an embarrassment for Wallace Corp, but I'm sure they've got their team on it to spin this. However, I've already been hearing how much they've discredited the Kill Magazine article as a fake, so they're already in the process of protecting themselves. I'm pretty sure that this whole case is going to get buried. The sense that I got from higher ups is anything you guys reported, any documentation is going to have to get locked up and not made public and not accessible to the rest of the LAPD. So we're gonna be feeling a lot of pressure from Wallace, and it's probably in our best interest just to bury whatever information we've got.
Perez hears that, he flicks his cigarette on the floor and just turns around and walks.
I'll talk to him.
As Perez is leaving, Holden's like, let me remind you what it's going to cost you career-wise to go out there discussing Wallace hit teams and out-of-control Nexus 9s.
I don't know what you're talking about.